So here we'll understand work done for a different kinds of processes. So work done for a cyclic process. So first is work done for a cyclic process. Now we know that work done is a state function, path function. We know that work done is a path function, means it will depend upon the path, right? And whereas internal energy change, that is delta U, this is what? This is a state function. So it will depend upon the initial and the final state. Let's say there is a process, I'll represent this way. This is the pressure and this is a volume. This is the pressure and this is the volume. Let's say I started a system from here, it went this way. Okay, this is a cyclic process in which the system went from this stage to this, here to here. Okay, this kind of graph is discussed earlier also. You can see that a cyclic process, and finally it came to this point only. So what will be the internal energy change at this point? It will be zero, because finally the system is coming at the same point. So delta U is a property which is dependent on what? State. Initial and the final state is same, right? So what will be this? Delta U is what? U2 minus U1. So both are same. So delta U will be is equal to what? 0, right? So now we are at what? We are understanding what is the work done over here, right? So from a first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus W. So for a cyclic process, delta U is equal to 0. Therefore 0 is equal to what? Q plus W. So therefore what we can write? Work done is equal to minus Q, right? See, work done and a heat, they are not a state function. They will depend upon the path, right? So whatever may be the path, their value will change, whether it is cyclic or non-cyclic process. So work done for the cyclic process is equal to minus of the heat exchange, right? Then we'll go ahead with one more derivation, that is second is work done for reversible isothermal process. You know that reversible process is the process which takes place in a number of steps, right? It is a process. If I want to represent it graphically, then this is a pressure, this is a volume, and let's say these are the points, and this is the expansion. This is V1, this is V1, and this is V2. This is area under the curve. Okay, this is the work done for a expansion. Okay, it is for the expansion. So here the coordinates will be like P1, V1, and here it is P2, V2. What we are understanding is that it is expansion, right? It is expansion. So let's understand that work done will be P external V1 to V2 dV, right? P external is could be written this way. So why this is so? Like external pressure dV is something which is going to change. It is taking place in a number of the steps, like large number of small steps. Like here there is a small change in volume, okay, then there is, from here expansion, it will increase this much, this much, this much, this much, this much, small volume. So we are integrating this V external into integral of dt. Now what is P external? What is P external? Every time you compress the gas, it is P internal plus dP, because you are compressing a gas by some small amount of the pressure dP. So inside the gas is what? The pressure is increasing by small amount P. Now this is for a compression. For the expansion, it will be minus. So what we can write at this point, P external to be plus or minus dP. So therefore work done will be is equal to what? Minus P internal plus dP. Sorry, we'll integrate this. I mean integral sign should come over here, V1 and V2. So P1 dP and dV integral. So V1 and V2. And then V2. So work done will be is equal to what? Work done will be is equal to, I'll keep this, we'll open this bracket, P internal multiplied by dV plus or minus dP into dV. So this term could be ignored because dP is very small and dV is also very small. A product will be very small, right? So I can ignore this, both the things. So what remains is work done is equal to minus V1, V2 and P internal into dV. Now since it is isothermal, okay, what is P internal? Now inside the gas, in the case of compression, we are doing a compression against what? We are doing the compression, there is a gas, there is a pressure due to a gas and we are doing this compression, right? So, or even expansion also, even if it is expansion, then it is expansion is due to the pressure of the gas, right? So what I'll write is that P internal to be is equal to work done integral of minus V1 and V2. Instead of writing P internal, I'll write pressure of gas into dV. This is the equation, simple equation which we are getting over here. Okay. So I'll clean this graph. Therefore, work done is equal to what? Integral of V1 and V2. What is the pressure of the gas? Pressure of the gas for a ideal gas, right? From ideal gas, we know that PV is equal to nRT. So what is pressure is equal to nRT by V. So I'll write over here pressure of the gas will be is equal to nRT by V and dV, right? So I'll write since P is equal to nRT by V from ideal gas equation. Now over here number of the moles of the gases will be constant, R is a gas constant and T is a temperature, right? Since it is isothermal, T is also constant. So I can take all the constants out, nRT I am taking constant out. This is V1, this is V2, 1 by V dV. So integral of 1 upon x dx, how do we write? Integral of 1 upon x dx, it is to be is equal to ln of x. So here also what I am doing, minus nRT, integral of this will be ln of x, right? So what is this? nRT will be ln of v2 minus ln of v1. So what is this? Minus nRT ln of v2 by v1. Now what is this ln? Ln we can convert it to the logarithms always. So work done is equal to minus nRT into 2.303. When I convert natural logarithm to log, I multiply this factor, log of v2 by v1. So this is the equation which we are getting over here, log of now this is in terms of the volume, right? This is in terms of the volume. Now if this could be in terms of the pressure, then yeah, in terms of the pressure, then how we will write this equation? We will write it this way, no? Work done is equal to minus nRT multiplied by 2.303 log of P1 upon P2. P1 upon P2. It could be also written this way. See this formula, even if you write P2 upon P1 and make this positive, it is one and same. So stick to one formula. That is what my suggestion would be. So this is the expression for the work done for whenever reversible isothermal process. So let us understand the graphical representation of the different types of works. Over here, let's draw this. This is a pressure volume axis. I'll draw some graph over here. Okay, so what does this represent? This line which is representing, you can just easily figure out that this throughout this axis, this line represents what kind of process? A pressure is constant. You see at this place a pressure is constant. So this is isobaric or isobaric process. Okay, isobaric work. Okay, so area under this curve will be deciding that it is an isobaric process, isobaric work done. This line, okay, this line represents what? You see that volume is constant throughout, but only pressure is changing. So this is isochoric process. Now among this, there are two things. One is adiabatic and other is isothermal. Means one is at a constant temperature and other is at a higher temperature. So among this is the adiabatic. Sorry. Yes, this is the adiabatic. Adiabatic means heat supplied is, there is no heat supplied. So temperature is going to fall. So this is adiabatic. Yes, this is adiabatic. Here temperature falls of the system and here temperature remain constant. So this is isothermal. Right? So these are the graphs for different processes. Now in which case the work done is maximum? The answer is very simple. The area under this line, area under the curve, that decides the amount of the work done. So more the area under the curve, more is the work done. So it is obviously isobaric work done. Isobaric will be more than area under this is, so work done isothermal. Then what? Work done adiabatic. Work done adiabatic. And we know that work done in isochoric process is 0. Right? You can see that there is no area under this curve. This is 0 area. Right? Since the line is vertical. So this is the least work done isochoric. Okay, this is the thing which explains the amount of the work done. These graphs. Okay, next is Free expansion. Let's talk about a free expansion. Free expansion. Free expansion. What is the meaning of free expansion? Free expansion is expansion of gas, expansion of gas in vacuum. Expansion of gas in vacuum. That is what the free expansion means. What? There is a cylinder this way, there is a cylinder, and this is the lid, this is the lid, and this is what? This is vacuum. Vacuum means no external force. There is no external pressure is there. There is nothing outside. So this expansion which will occur, it is against due to zero external pressure. So although expansion is going to happen, but work done will be is equal to zero because it is happening into a vacuum. So here is the expansion, free expansion is first point, is the expansion of gas in vacuum. Work done is zero. Okay. So what is work done is zero, then heat is equal to zero, and also delta U, internal energy change, is also zero. Like work done is equal to zero and heat is also is equal to zero. Therefore delta U will be also is equal to zero. Right? Internal energy change will be also is equal to zero. Let us solve some problems based on these concepts. Okay, let's solve this question. The maximum work obtained by an isothermal reversible expansion of 1 mole of an ideal gas at 27 degrees Celsius from 2.24 to 22.4 liter. Right? So work done for isothermal expansion or isothermal work is given to be what? Irreversible isothermal work is reversible isothermal work. It is minus nRT, or we can write this formula minus 2.303 nRT log of V2 by V1. V2 is final volume and V1 is initial volume. So work done over here is now this is the expansion, right? Expansion. So work is done by the system, right? When work is done by the system, what should be the sign of the work done? It should be positive. It should be negative, right? So it is expanding from 2.24 to 22.4, right? These values. So final is 22.4. So I'll write this 2.303. What is N is equal to number of moles. So that is equal to 1. R, it is in calories per Kelvin per mole. Okay, we'll take that value directly. So I'll take this to be 2. Instead of taking 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole, that is a converted value written in calories per Kelvin per mole. And T is the 27 degrees Celsius. 27 degrees Celsius is equal to how many? 300 Kelvin. Right? 27 degrees Celsius is 300 Kelvin. And log of what is V2? V2 is 22.4 and V1 is 2.24. So this will be minus 2.303 into 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 300 into log of 10. This is log of 10. Log of 10 is 1, right? 2.303, 2 into 300 multiplied by 1. So final work done over here, what is the answer which we are getting is minus 1381.8 calories. This is what the answer which we are having over here. So this is for what? Reversible isothermal process. Give a try to this question. Question asked is the internal energy change when a system goes from state A to state B is 40 kilojoules per mole. If the system goes from A to B by a reversible path and returns to state A, the value of the internal energy change. You can give a try to this question, try to solve this. You can pause this video for some time and comment your answer in the comment section. Okay, see, it is a reversible process. It is a reversible process. A to B and coming back to B to A, right? So internal energy change is a state function. It depends upon the initial and the final state. In the reversible process, initial and the final state is the same. So delta U will be is equal to what? 0. So the answer is option C. There is nothing to calculate in it. Okay, have a look at this question. Question asked is a heat engine absorbs heat Q1 at temperature T1 and releases Q2 amount. Okay, Q2 releases heat Q2 at temperature T2. Work done by the engine is given as Q1 plus Q2 joules. Like violates first law of thermodynamics, violates first law of thermodynamics if Q1 is negative. All these things, conditions are given. What is the answer you can say for this? See, thing is very simple over here. See, they have given work done to be is equal to what? Q1 and Q2. Both are positive values, right? So Q1, it absorbs heat. This Q1 is positive, that is fine. But over here, Q2 should be what? Releases heat Q2 means it should Q2 sign should be what? Negative, no? Right? So that's why this violates the first law of thermodynamics. Okay? So this condition, without these conditions also, it is violating the rule first law of thermodynamics. This is very good question, a quality question we can say. Read the question, have a look at the question and try to answer this. You can give a try, pause this video for some time and you can give a try to this question. Okay, I'll solve this for you. Question asked is 1 mole of an ideal monoatomic gas is subjected to change as shown in a graph. Magnitude of the work done. See, from here to here, what is the work done? Magnitude is asked. Okay, it is an integer type of question which was asked in a previous year. I don't remember exactly which year it was. But from 1 to 2, work done. From 2 to 3 and then 3 to 4. See, for work done from 1 to 2 is what? If you see, the pressure is remaining constant. So it is isobaric. Okay. Work done from 2 to 3. It is what? Isochoric process. And work done from 3 to 1 back is what? Is isothermal. Why I am saying this is to be isothermal? This is a graph, you know, pressure volume relationship. There also we have seen this kind of inverse relation graph, isobars we used to say. These curves were at a different temperature, T2, T1. So this, from here to here, the temperature is constant, right? Isothermal process. Now what is a total work done? Work done total will be W1 to 2 plus W 2 to 3 plus W 3 to 1. Now since it is a isochoric process, this 2 to 3 is a isochoric process, so this is equal to 0, right? I will write work 1 to 2 plus 0. For isochoric process, volume remaining constant, what is work done? Work done is equal to 0. And what is this? This is isothermal process, right? So now we have to define this work done here and here, right? These are the things which we need to define. So isobaric process, what is the work done? We'll do that. I'll write here. It will take some little more space. Work done total is minus P V2 minus V1 plus, this is isothermal process. For isothermal process, how the work done is given? Minus 2.3 303 nRT, right? Log of V2 by V1. This is how the isothermal reversible work is given, right? So pressure is what? 1 atmosphere. So 1 into V2 is what? Over here V2 final volume from here to here is 40. 40 initial was what? 20. So 40 minus 20 plus what I'll do is nRT. It is an ideal gas. They have mentioned about the ideal gas. So I'll change that formula. nRT is equal to PV is equal to nRT. No, so I'll write this minus 2.303 PV log of V2 by V1. So how much this comes to? This comes to minus 20. I'll write this minus 2.303. Pressure will be 1 atmosphere, right? It is happening at a 1 atmosphere, right? So this is 1 atmosphere. What is the volume? Volume is 20, and log at when this volume, this is what? 20, no? Here the volume is 20 and pressure is 1 at this point, and log of final is 40 upon 20. Final is 40 upon 20. Okay, 3 to 1, no? From here to here it is 20 upon 30. Yes, this will be 20 upon 30. Sorry, 20 upon 40. So answer over here will be is equal to, I'll clean this part. So this work done is minus 20 minus 2.303 into 20 into log of 1 by 2. So minus 20 plus 2.303 into 20 into log of 2. I did this ulta. Log of 1 by 2 could be written as minus log of 2, and this sign will change to positive. So minus 20 plus 2.303 multiplied by 20 into 0.3010. So final answer work done in terms of liter atmosphere. Liter atmosphere is coming to be is equal to minus 6.1359 minus 6.1359 liter atmosphere, and when we convert this to joule, the answer comes to be is equal to 621.57. 6 minus 621.57 joule, which is 621 work done joules, right? Integer is asked, so magnitude is only asked, so you don't have to write a minus sign over here. Magnitude is asked means just 621 is the answer for it.